I would prefer to say that sometimes we do prioritize the lives of the few over the lives of the many, and one such example would be we don't frame innocent people, even if being extorted by angry mobs. What I want to talk about today is a very common counterexample that tries to disprove utilitarianism, which is called the Sheriff Counterexample. In this scenario, the idea is that there's a sheriff who can frame an innocent person, getting them executed, in order to prevent a mob from rioting and thus killing dozens of people. Should the sheriff frame the innocent person? Act utilitarianism simply says yes. One person dead is better than dozens of people dead, so you ought to take that action because it has lesser consequences. Rule utilitarianism says maybe. If people know about this rule, that you ought to frame one to save dozens, then it undermines people's faith in the justice system, which is a greater negative than the difference between killing one person and killing dozens of people. But in response to that, we can enhance this counterexample. We can say that the sheriff knows that it's easy to get away with framing an innocent person. Perhaps they've done it before, or know sheriffs who've done it before, and so they're reasonably certain that they won't get caught. Now the rule is, when a sheriff can do so covertly, framing one innocent to save dozens is a good thing to do. Under that guise, it still seems correct to enact this framing, even though our moral intuitions find this repugnant. Now, this is considered a counterexample and not a moral dilemma because no one really has any reservations about which side they should choose. It seems that our moral intuition tells us that we absolutely should not let the sheriff frame an innocent person just to appease an angry mob, even if it saves dozens of lives. But this flies in the face of utilitarianism. So an essential question then is, can utilitarians find a way to say that the sheriff should not condemn the innocent while being consistent with classical utilitarianism? Jeffrey Kaplan is a professor of philosophy, and he makes videos on YouTube that I'd highly recommend. In his discussion of this, he points to JJC Smart, who is a well-respected utilitarian, was a well-respected utilitarian. He's long dead now. And JJC Smart argues that no, but utilitarianism can say that's the correct outcome. The sheriff should frame the innocent person because lots of people will die. If dozens of people are going to die, then yes, you should sacrifice the one person. Our intuition that framing an innocent is wrong is an incorrect intuition. So I think utilitarians are left with the choice to either abandon utilitarianism or accept that framing innocent people for murder is the right thing to do from time to time.